what you put on there is sufficient and appropriate.
Happy
Wait,
Monday,
what are you
everybody.
saying? What?
I
No.
said, John says she put some stuff up too, and she's like, I have to look.
Right.
No, I have to look. I have to look.
have to
I
look.
was saying I have to look, as in like, what did I even put up there?
Oh, I thought you meant
As in like, I have to look at,
approve.
I didn't even have the show notes open.
I have to approve all show notes.
No, I have to look. My thought was like, I have to look at the list.
This was a
Jessica.
good color, by the way. This like dark purple. I'm into it.
Jessica, I want you to take and turn up your mic gain a little bit.
All right. Which one is the gain? Not this one, right? This one? This one? This one? Okay.
Keep talking so
better?
that we can hear you.
Keep going.
That's
When
better.
do I stop? Okay.
That's good. Now, when you're talking, is it turning red?
No, green.
Okay.
Just green.
You're supposed to turn that
Hi,
up.
Cheryl.
You're supposed to talk into it's green, and then you keep turning it up till it turns red, and then you just notch it back a little bit.
That's probably good too, because my mic was a little cockadoodled, so it should be better now.
You know, I spend entirely too much time thinking about how to improve your audio, what I should do, what I do.
You know, I guess,
Isn't that
what's
bad?
so strange is that obviously our show sounds great because we're on
Isn't
the
that
same,
bad,
the
though?
volume. But when I watch our live, I'm surprised by why Jess sounds so quiet on the
On our
live.
lives?
Yeah, on the live, you sound so. I don't know if you should just pick one day and then listen to like 5 minutes of the show, and then you'll hear it. And it's not pervade. Like I don't hear it now. Right now, I can hear you. I can hear you fine, but in Facebook, you sound so much lower than I am most of the time. John and I are at about the same level, but you sound much quieter.
The 48V button is checked. Should I take that off?
Yes. Because that's
Does
for
that help?
No, but 48 is it's only for Phantom Power.
So that doesn't help at all.
I have extra equipment here that
Yeah, maybe I need.
What I was thinking about giving you is a compressor limiter gate, and then we could hook that into that, and then have it where it goes into your computer. Because you definitely need a compressor because you're all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh,
John,
look, Clara's giving you kudos on your editing the.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, right. Look, didn't he do an amazing job? I was listening too,
He
and I was
is.
like, oh, all of that stuff is cut out.
He is our not very well kept secret, I have to say.
Yeah, he's amazing. He like there's so many things. Clara, you should see the stuff that he does when we've done ads in the past where
He's
we
amazing.
forget stuff, and he's inserted things in the middle of a show. And
Honestly,
it
if he
sounds
wasn't
like
amazing, we would have chosen a woman a long time ago. And we do get dinged on that a lot. Like, you're supposed to be women's support group, but your editor's the man. We're like, you don't know what he does.
No, but it's not even you don't know what he does. It's that he's been it's like, yeah, it's part of the, yeah.
But really, y'all don't know what he does.
Yeah. And also, oh, wait, sorry, John, this is possibly not going to be, maybe it can be a little insulting to you, but maybe it could be a little insulting to women. I really don't think, hold on. I don't think very many women would put up with what Jess and I do.
Well,
that's true. You're a mess.
They would. Honestly, I got to tell you, I think, and again, this might be insulting to all the women out there, but we're going there.
Okay.
I think what women would do would be nice to you and talk behind your back, where I just lay it out there.
He just yes. But here's the thing though. I honestly think that most women would be requesting, they'd be like, okay, this is my base rate. And then they would work with us for like a month. And then they would go, you know what? Doing your show is going to be X. And they're going to put the price up because they're like, this is like what? And under what circumstance and who worked with you before and how, and they what? So then, yeah, it would be a little bit more on that.
I have an issue, and it's been about a month now, and I might as well talk before we go on here, but I'm having a real hard time editing now. Like, in other words, before it was never a chore. I never had a problem listening to stuff. Like now, there are some podcasts that I do that I dread. I absolutely dread doing them. And it's not that they're bad podcasts or something, but it's not really something I'm interested in. And it just seems like it drones on and on and on. And I'm finding myself like picking the clients that I really like and doing them first and waiting for the ones that I have an issue with, waiting and doing them last. It's like I keep putting them off. And then Samantha, my girlfriend, said, you know what you should do is every day do 10 minutes. You can do 10 minutes and not get.
Oh, yeah. That's like, you know what? That's such a great idea. I like that idea. And John, I only edit one show now.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a hard time editing that show.
That's a big show. Your show is a big.
And it's no, I have to I give myself, I'm like, okay, I have a couple hours, or this is the chunk of time that I'm going to do it. Or there has to be another something else around me to ground me. So I have to set myself up for energy leaks. Like I'll focus, scroll through Twitter. Focus, get up and go make a sandwich. Focus. And I have it all because I can't do it. Because if not, I'll go away. I'll definitely go away. And super then grouchy. I listen and I'm watching the audio go, and then I totally tune out. So then I go, wait, I didn't do it. And I have to go rewind and go all the way back again. And I always hit a wall.
I've been doing this so long that I, like in the movie The Matrix, I can see an in the waveform. I can see.
Wait a minute! I just saw a T-shirt with that. Actually,
yes, it's
was it Patrick Keller that had one? Yeah, it was like an it was like the waveform.
Waveform,
yeah.
So there's lots of times where I'm ahead, taking out breaths, just like in other words. And Jess, you're going to take some shrapnel on this.
That's all right.
So with Jess, there's always the
that.
So I'm very adept at taking that out now myself because it's like a tiny, skinny line.
Yes,
so I see it coming, and I'm like, oh,
yes, you see it.
So I'm in front of. Yeah, I'm in front of the audio. Like I'm in there taking stuff out because it's easier than just wait and stop. I'm ahead cutting them out.
I would too.
It's like 30 seconds ahead, 30, 45 seconds.
I didn't up until 6 years ago, I had no idea I had a speech impediment. But there it is. Now you know. It's like a tiny little, and I don't know why.
Who is it that, wait, I was listening to somebody else there's somebody else who does it exactly like you do, Jess.
Who?
I mean, it's almost.
Who? That's crazy.
It's one of my favorite people that I follow. Is my phone here? Hold on.
So wait, their editor doesn't get rid of it?
No, it's not. They're not on.
No, they're not.
They're not a podcast. Where the hell's my phone?
I don't know. I
Okay.
was just gonna offer to ping it for you, and then realized I'm not there, and it's not my phone.
Hold on, I have to show it. But it's one of my favorite accounts. She is absolutely not safe for work or safe for family or safe for whatever allowed. NSFW. But she just makes me laugh like nobody ever does. And sometimes I'll come into Instagram just to get her.
Who is it?
It's Frenchie Davis. I've sent you her stuff in the past.
Yeah.
And so she does this thing here. I'm gonna put it in the camera. I wonder if you could see it. You can see her account. Let me see if I can do. There you go.
There you go.
See? Okay. So she does these things that are really awesome. She uses her emoji, and she'll do like a little. It's like a mini monologue of her life, like super short, obviously, because it can't be very long. Mm-hmm. And every time the video starts, it goes, and then she starts talking every single time, and it's really loud. Crazy. But even with all of that stuff, she is phenomenal. I love her so much.
Good.
She makes me laugh, and I adore everything about her. She's such a talented woman anyway, but she's my obsession on so random. I just love her stuff. Plus, I don't know how she does that talking thing, but it's amazing. And the other thing that's really great too is that when she does those little memoji or whatever, she will make the faces. She's telling a story, and let's say she's annoyed or she wants to give like
Yeah.
a look. The Memoji does it.
I know.
And it's hilarious.
I know. You know what I hate about Memoji is Memoji is how I figured out I have marionette lines.
Why?
Because
Did
when
the
I turn
Memoji
on,
do it?
because when I turn on Memoji, it goes like this. And I'm like, why am I frowning?
I can't get my emoji looks Asian.
I have never.
That's weird.
It looks Asian, and when I try to use it, I don't want to send it out there because I think people think that I'm, me.
You're trying to make fun of somebody, then you don't want to. You're not doing that.
Rather than have resting bitch face, I have resting frowny face, I guess.
Resting.
Someone else.
I tried.
Yesterday.
What?
A friend of mine drove by me yesterday and rolled down her window and said, "Turn that frown upside down." Like I wasn't even I was expression free. So I went.
Well, that works so much better.
Oh gosh, I just went on a rant with one of my children. I forgot which one. Not that they didn't do anything. I personally went on a rant without them being a part of it. They didn't do anything. I was just telling them about the smiling stuff, walking down the street. I cannot even tell you how many times I'm walking down the street. Oh, smile. Why are you frowning? Your face is, you would look so much better with a smile.
Who walks around smiling? Who does that?
All the time in LA, especially when I was serving tables. Like if I was going from one table to the kitchen, inevitably somebody that was walking by, obviously not my boss or not any of my fellow, folks.
Americans.
No, not just my fellow people that I'm working with, but some customer. Oh, smile. You should smile more.
Ew, I don't like that.
It's such an annoying thing for me. I hated it.
Fuck
you. Yeah. I would always get so pissed off.
I hear you.
Also, who does that? Like, I don't think I've ever.
No, it's none of
I don't think I've ever told.
Fucking smiling.
I never told anybody to smile.
Never in my life, unless I was taking a picture. Never.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And yes, if we're taking a picture, I have said, "Okay, smile" to my children, but they have never.
Actually, lately with Isaac, I have to say, "I'm over here. Look in the camera. I'm over here."
Oh.
He'll go take a picture, and then he'll go, "What are you doing?" I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
And then he'll go like this, face his face towards me, and then go. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I think he's nuts. He really is nuts. This morning I came down. My cleaning lady was here, and Isaac's home for Shavuot.
A what?
Shavuot. It's a Jewish holiday that celebrates the harvest and the getting of the 10 Commandments.
Oh.
Apparently, all I know besides that is that you're supposed to eat cheesecake. So I was like,
Ooh,
anyway,
what?
Yeah, it's a dairy
How is that part of
holiday? Because of dairy cows or something? I don't know. Isaac
who cares?
I come down and Isaac goes, "Hey mom, guess what? I just explained everything about being Jewish to Michelle." And I was like, "Everything?"
Oh wow.
And Michelle walks by and she goes, "Yup, everything." I was like, and then Scott comes down, he says the same thing, and he was like, "You've only been down here 20 minutes." And I was like, "No, it's been an hour. He could have covered everything. He probably covered everything."
Well,
that
that's
poor
what
woman.
You and Melissa, brilliant, used to be my go-to Jews for anything Jewish.
Aren't we still? Are we?
Yeah.
Are we not?
No, you still are. Although
Have
I
you
don't
graduated other go-to Jews that we don't know about?
No,
okay.
You still
Oh
are.
my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
all
we
right.
should.
So shall we? Okay, let us.
Let me know when Elsie's always the one that needs.
Oh my God, I have to turn on the things. Yes, you're
See?
correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't do this stuff. And
So let me know when you're ready, and I'll do the countdown.
No, wait, because now mine's not right. I didn't have the right. Did I not have the right mic last time?
No, you sounded all right.
Okay.
Last time.
Well, let me just test it.
Okay.
Test.
Test.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I'm ready. Ready.
3, 2, 1. Press record. All right, Elsie, give me a hello.
Hello.
Jess, give me a hello.
Hello.
All right, roll.
All right.
Everything set up the way you guys want to do it?
I think so.
Yeah.
You move shit around? Yeah.
I moved just the emoji thing at the bottom because there's really nothing to discuss there to just data.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. All right, here we go with the music. Oops, got to get rid of the ugly guy in the. There we go. That's better.
Hello. Welcome to episode 314 of She Podcast. It's the pie episode.
What?
Hey, yeah.
Oh, the pie. I was like, we're not covering any pies.
314 is pie.
Okay, 3.14.
So this is Sheepy Pie. We'll call this one Sheepy Pie.
Sheepy Pie. Okay.
I am your hostess with the mostess, Jessica Kupferman, and my co-hostess, or I guess she's the hostess and I'm the co-hostess, Miss Elsie Escobar. What does your shirt say? Listening to podcasts? But it's like sport.
Listening to podcasts since, and then you count it.
Oh, 20.
And then
04. Okay, cool. And of course our
what?
I'm not sure.
XXL is that 25 in Roman numbers?
Is it?
Oh,
yeah. 2004.
2000
isn't 5. It doesn't matter. 5 is a V.
Yeah.
Anyway, with us as always, our producer, John Jamingo. Hello, John Jamingo.
Hello, everyone.
We were just loving on him before we started recording because those of you who have voiced opinions about whether or not we have a male editor are not wrong. He is male. That's correct. But he is also a magician. And that's why I mean, like, not that I want to fire him because I don't, but also he's a magician and you can't fire a magician when they do magic on your show like all the time.
Oh gosh, yes, he does. And also he puts up with things like, when Jess is doing her nails, and Tamara, it's amazing. Just, shout out Tamara Ford, who is in the chat saying that, making her want to hire a producer and editor right now. Yeah, it is. It does seem fun. And I miss it. I miss it. I don't think that I miss not having one when I don't have one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. And the other thing is, I was just thinking, I wouldn't mind doing what John does. I just wouldn't want to be doing both.
Yeah.
Like if I were to be showing up, and I'd rather run the show. I don't know if I'd want to edit the show, but I'd run the show. I think that would be a fun thing.
I don't want to edit the show. But honestly, I'm one of those, like, let's just not edit it. But I also don't know what it would sound like if it was unedited. Would it be so terrible, John?
Yes.
Like if you, God forbid, if you fell ill, I
would edit it.
Really?
I would edit. Oh yeah.
It's that bad, huh?
Well, it's not that it's bad, Jess. It's the fact that he makes it's not bad. It's not bad in the way that you're thinking. Like think about it this way. You put your clothes on, right? You get yourself dressed. You get you get yourself looking cute. You get dressed, and then somebody that loves you looks at you and goes, "Hey, Jess, smooth the front part of your top, tuck this part in, put that one little bit of hair behind your ear. Great. Oh, try these earrings. There you go. Now you're done." Like it's not, he's not here to change us. He doesn't change us. He just cleans us up so that we know that when we're going out there, we're looking our best.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's a really good analogy, actually.
Like
good.
Right
yeah,
now,
because that's what he does.
Right now, Jess always does her nails in the beginning of the show. Now what I want to do is recommend her to put a piece of cloth down. So when she puts the bottle down, it doesn't clunk into the microphone.
Yeah.
Sorry. I am speaking into the microphone though, aren't I? Because I've been really careful about that.
Yes, you are. But again, though, when you put all that stuff down, it does pick up.
Is that what it sounds like?
Yes.
Ah, shit.
I have to edit some of that stuff out, and I don't get a lot of it out, not all of it, with Rob right now because he is in a he used to have a nice studio where it could keep sounds out.
Yeah, sound treated.
But now he moved to, Nashville. And
what? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, he's been living in Nashville now for a while.
Is he trying to be a country music star?
No, he's not.
That would be amazing if he was.
No, that he's not. But he has a it's really loud. In the latest episode, I could hear his wife in the kitchen clunking stuff.
Wow. Oh no, that's not
so good. Yeah. So I have to. There's a lot of stuff in his chair, and he's using a Yeti Pro.
Good God.
Yeah.
A Yeti.
Yeah, he's using a Yeti Pro, which is fine when he is not where he is right now, right?
I thought we didn't like Yetis.
I don't really like Yetis either. Mind you, though, I mean, John, when you edited the feed that one time and you ran whatever you ran on his track, he sounded amazing. Yeah, so good.
It took like 30 minutes before you got an email saying what happened to this show this week. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was almost no time. It literally was like the episode was out and Steve Stewart emailed me and was like, wow, that episode was so well done. What have you done? Because I was just like, thanks.
Shut up.
It wasn't me. Somebody else did it. It was John. So yeah, it's kind of like having a stylist. That's what John is. John is the perfect stylist. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he gets like the audio and he styles it so it sounds the best. And here's the thing though. This is another layer to audio production or being a producer of a show is that in the same way that you go with certain stylists because they get you, because they know your vision, because they really know how to dress you, it's the same way as you go with your audio producers because I'm sure that there's folks that are brilliant, amazing, but they really would never be able to handle us.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, Jess and I are like brothers and sisters. Like I can argue with Jess. I can be straight out and blunt with Jess. Where Elsie, I ask Elsie, do you hear this? I'm more gentle with Elsie. Or Jess, yes. I'm like, stop that noise. Sorry.
It's because John and I have done podcasts together where, like you get to know each other when you talk to each other for an hour a week or sometimes longer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's probably why you're just comfortable yelling at me.
I know how we are together. I know I can get away with it, or I know that I'm not going to hurt your feelings. I thought I'm going to get away with it. I'm not going to hurt your feelings.
It's true.
So, yeah.
All right. So, are we ready to talk about other things?
You want to do the news?
Let's do the news. Let's do the news.
News you can use for the informed podcaster. Podcasting news.
I had this little bit of news already in the show notes last week, and I simply forgot to move it into our episode notes. And we would have been breaking news because this functionality was released on the day that we recorded, which was last Monday. And it would have been more timely, but I don't know if y'all know. Who knows? Did you know this, Jess? Go ahead and take it away, Jess, and we can discuss.
Hello? Is it
me? Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
She's talking about Spotify bringing in social sharing options. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Why does she look so confused?
Because she didn't read anything yet, and she's trying to get up to speed.
You think so? No, I think
what happened?
I don't know.
It says that I'm having trouble connecting, and then I popped right back. It was so weird.
I don't know. You never.
Okay, she completely missed my thing. Do you want me to say it again?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just yeah.
Take two.
Sorry.
Okay. So what I said, okay, this was part of the show notes last week, but I forgot to move it into our slot for episode 314. And now we did it because this functionality was released last Monday. So it's been out for a little bit now, but it's very fun. And I wanted you to take it away because I wanted you to see if you knew all about it and if you've used it.
Oh man, you must have wondered where the fuck I went.
Yes, I did.
I've not used it. If you're asking me, I have not used it, but I do think it's really cool. So Spotify is now letting you share a specific timestamp from a podcast. It's bringing more social sharing options to Android and iOS apps starting today, but this isn't today. This is May 10th.
No, this isn't
like
today.
A week ago.
Yeah.
Including a way to link to a timestamp in a podcast. When you tap the share button, you'll see a toggle option that lets you create a link for the current playtime. After you share the link, anyone who taps it can start listening to the podcast from the same spot. Brilliant, because I have done this for YouTube. I have shared like the exact spot. I had to once because I was showing someone where you were in your when you were doing a telenovela.
Oh, that's right.
So Elsie has been in a telenovela, and it's like very short, but it's in like one specific spot. She's very angry in it. It's hilarious.
It's not a telenovela. It was one of the very first digital media pilots. But whatever. I mean, I get it. It was very
joking.
much like
I
that.
know it's not a real telenovela, but she's just very. I just say that because you're very angry and you're calling somebody terrible names.
Yeah.
So. So anyway, I wanted to show someone that exact moment, and I was able to do it on YouTube. So now I'm super excited because this is great for when you mention people.
Yeah.
Because then you can just send people the exact mention and not make them go through your hour and a half of schmagoo in order to get to what you want to get. So,
yep. Mind you, this functionality has been available for Overcast and Castro, and I believe Pocket Cast, and also I found out SoundCloud does the same thing as well.
Hey,
there's some other players that do it as well, like actual players, like the Libsyn 4 player does this as well. If you can actually create the players to start at a specific time code, that's also a thing. But the extra awesome thing that the Spotify one, and then why this one is a lot more powerful. I think powerful, not in the sense that the functionality, but powerful in the sense that this is something that the audience. What did you say?
I was singing because I lost you for a second after you said powerful.
Hold on 1 second. I have to sneak.
Gesund. Bless you.
Eek! Okay. Here we go. Powerful. We're going to start for powerful.
Yeah.
It's because there's so many more people that use Spotify.
Yes.
And it's not like all of the other functionalities for Overcast and Castro and all that stuff. That was still more producer facing, meaning me as a producer would share my own show with somebody else saying, this is where it is. Whereas with the Spotify functionality, it feels that it's a lot more audience focused. So it's those that are consuming the content that are able to then share with their friends. Oh, this is when they were talking about whatever. And since they're already using the app, they're kind of used to using it in this fashion anyway. They're already sharing stuff from Spotify. To their own places.
Actually, the article says that a quarter of Spotify users, around 89 million, now listen to podcasts on the platform.
Wow, look at that.
So sharing on social media plays a major role in helping people find new things on Spotify, with 40% of music discovery attributed to it, according to a survey of users. So maybe they're thinking it will do the same thing for podcasts, and it might even encourage people to sign up for podcast subscriptions as well.
Yep. Which is cool. I mean, I like it. I dig it. If anybody tests it out, go ahead and test it. I think that that's a really wonderful way for your audience to market your show, or maybe you can ask them to share a specific time of your podcast out. And the other thing is that it works I believe it works on obviously the apps, right? It works for the apps, meaning people can consume it in the apps. It also works on the web, just like on a website, which is also really great.
Works on Snapchat. It says users are able to share songs through the Canvas feature, which turns song pages into video art on Snapchat in addition to Instagram stories. But that's not saying it'll do that for podcasts. But first of all, I just want to know if any of you are watching, or if you could email us feedback@shepodcast.com. Do you use Snapchat? I need to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
You know what I think people are using Snapchat more and more nowadays for? Is filth. You're like filth. Junk. No.
Filters.
Oh, filters.
Oh, filth. And yeah, filth and filters. Both. Yes, I think it's the filters. I think that in the same, like they're being used because the filters in Snapchat are so great that people will record their videos and then download them and then upload them into the other different places, only to see pictures. Oh, Cheryl says of her granddaughter. Hold
on. Are they that good? I gotta see. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, Snapchat, says Tim. I haven't been in there in so long, and I have to tell you, May loves to go into Snapchat and do, like, I will look at my phone and I find an entire 6 or 7 rows in my photos of her testing out every single one of the filters. And they're really fun. There's a lot of really fun ones in there.
Yeah.
Much better than Instagram, I think, by far.
I'm a fan of TikTok. I'm in love with TikTok.
I know, me too. I'm obsessed.
People really love TikTok. I haven't gotten into that.
We have a She Podcast TikTok, but it's empty.
Okay.
I don't do TikToks. I watch TikToks. Like, I don't create TikToks. I'm a lurker.
I feel like you're a one though. No?
I did
it feels so heavy. It feels like a heavy lift for me. Actually, Andrea, our own Andrea, just did a video of how she repurposes her videos, where she records them, how she does it, how she sets them up, and then how she uses them in all the different places, including TikTok. It was really, really helpful. Andrea, our own Andrea. She did really good. I found the video on LinkedIn. Maybe I'll put a link in the show notes if I remember to do so.
This doesn't make me look very good at all.
Why? No, that's scary. Look at that's weird. It has weird lines on there that weren't even there before.
That's a SpongeBob character. That right there is a SpongeBob character, and I can't remember which one it is.
Oh, it's the fish. It's Larry who eats or Flats, maybe. Maybe it's Flats who tries to beat up SpongeBob.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Anyway, but we were talking about Spotify and how cool that was. So if anybody has a Spotify account and has shared a specific part of, or maybe either you have done it or maybe your audience has done it, it would be really great for you to tell us what you think about the functionality of sharing that specific point. Oh, and the other thing that's really fun too is that you can share that specific point to Instagram stories. So if you have one part where you want people to listen to that as it begins, you can share it into your Instagram stories, and anybody who taps on that specific story will begin listening to the show at that time. So I think that's brilliant and fantastic.
While we're talking about apps, there's a new app called VoirCam, VOIR, and you can try on different makeups. And if you find one you like, it tells you what
makeup it
products. Like, here, let me show you. Hold on, I'll do.
Oh my gosh!
Hold on.
You are so but oh gosh, what about the hair? But the hair's never gonna look like that though.
But look, see this up here? It tells you which products where's my finger? You just tap right there. And it will tell you which products. I mean, hold on. Look at this lipstick. It's fucking awesome. Hold on, I gotta find
How do you know it even looks like? Are you putting it on yourself?
No, it's a filter.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is, are you putting it on your own face? Yeah, your own picture, or is it somebody else? Oh, it is. Now. Look. Oh, wow, look. It is your own face. That's a really pretty color.
Right? I got color. That color is hot.
That's a beautiful color.
It has tons and tons of them. VoirCam, VOIR Cam. Just try it.
Okay, we can put that in the show notes. Let's put it in the show notes, folks, because everybody's going to want to know all about it.
Yeah, that's just
that was a good tool tip. Okay. All right. Well, good. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you
moving
so
on,
much.
Moving on.
Now, moving on to this really called my attention because I've told you, I think I've let you guys know that I have Have I told you that that I have been listening to I have now listened to every episode of Call Her Daddy since Alex has been by herself.
Okay.
Since everything happened, when she was with Sophia.
You really got sucked
and they
in,
broke up. I've listened to every one of the episodes. And now, I mean, it's insane, but Call Her Daddy is number 5. Number 5 podcast. Even though it is, I think that this is through PodTrack. Obviously, we know PodTrack is not everybody. It's only the same people, But Call Her Daddy moves to number 5. And she's above Ben Shapiro and Stuff You Should Know. And This American Life moved back down 1 position. So anyway, this is good for Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Alex. I am telling you, listen. She started off with, it was one show when it first started. It was between Alex and Sophia. It was a very specific type of show. It was very much two young women talking about sex essentially and being raunchy. And it was kind of hilarious and kind of, I don't know what do you say, when people just do things to get attention, kind of, there's a word for that.
Desperate?
Not desperate. When the headlines, when headlines are like scandalous and
it's like attention grabbing.
Yeah, and it seemed like that's where it was coming from, and therefore when I was listening to it, the reason I listened to it then is because all of this other stuff happened, right? It didn't really it was like entertainment. It was like junk food. Right. Yeah, and it wasn't my kind of junk food. I didn't find it that appealing. Okay. I found that what happened appealing, and that was interesting, which is why I continued to listen to the saga, right? It was sort of like getting the behind the scenes.
Right.
But then Alex had Miley Cyrus on the show after she had been alone for a while. And I listened to that episode, and she did a very, very good job interviewing Miley. And I was kind of impressed by her interview skills. And she has continued to have very great, very, very good conversations on her show. And she is talking about, obviously, she talks about sex a lot, but she's now shifted it in a way that is incredibly empowering for young millennials, about being really open about sexuality, mental health. She's got a lot of mental health advocates. She's got a lot of sex experts coming on the show. All of a sudden, she's become like super solid in having these really in-depth interviews with amazing like gets for her demographic, right? So they're not interested. I don't know who the heck these people are that she's interviewing.
Of course not.
Most of the time I'm like, what? Who? But the conversations have been on point. And she even had her mom on. Her mom is a therapist. And
now that right there,
and it's amazing because the way that Alex talks about it and the way that her mom, and when they had their conversation, you can tell that Alex has gone through a lot of self-knowing. There's a lot of growing up that she's done. And since the whole entire debacle that happened at Barstool, and everything that she's doing right now, the kinds of guests that she's having on the show, in-depth discussions about therapy and normalizing what therapy is and what it's not, and when you need to get out when you're in an unhealthy relationship. And she's been disclosing how she's really worked through a lot of different things and her relationships with men. I mean, I am really impressed. Call me impressed with how she has matured this year.
She's impressed, people.
And she edits her own show. Mm-hmm. She does all the things herself, except for they do actually have cameras that go in. Whenever she has an interview, they have cameras and a setup and distanced and all the stuff. Like there's somebody running that. I'm sure somebody's doing the actual production, the video production of it. It's not fully released, so it's not like you can see the audio and the video show. You see snippets of it on social and whatnot. But she has been doing a fantastic. It's like really, really nice. So I love it when Hannah Berner is on as well. I'm like super stoked, and I'm really impressed. Are you not, Terry? I am surprised you are listening to Call Her Daddy too. But now it is I look forward to every Wednesday morning when she releases a show. The only thing I hate are her ads, so I skip over the ads. Like as soon as I hear her ads, this is how she transitions to an ad. And that whenever you hear that noise, that where she's like,
wow.
with her throat, whatever she's doing, then you can I skip because I can't handle her ads. Mind you, I can't handle most ads. So, but still, I think that both of them, I mean, not both of them, but I think she's been doing a really good job. So good for you, Alex. I am really impressed with you. I'm talking to you, Alex. You're really doing really great work. Honestly, you have been doing such. You have shifted everything and been really professional about putting stuff out there and being completely transparent and being very responsible and having a lot of maturity in the public eye. So kudos to you. She's like what, 27 or something like that?
Kudos.
I mean, kudos to her. So I'm really impressed. And congratulations on this because I feel this is really, I think she's one of the only women. Is she not? Look at the list.
Okay.
The Daily, NPR News now, up first, Dateline NBC, Call Her Fucking Daddy.
Oh, girl.
Wow.
Fresh air.
No, but look at who she's up against.
I know.
It's every single person who has a team of thousands of dollars doing the stuff.
It's a huge accomplishment.
Look at the rest of the list. Who else is like her?
No one. It's
no
a huge
one.
accomplishment.
Holy shit. One. Sherlock.
Could you still call her independent because she's on Barstool?
Yes, she's doing all of the shit herself.
Yeah, I know, but she's on Barstool. I mean, that's a network, right?
Yeah, but she's editing her own damn show.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
She has no team. Everybody else on this fucking list has a bazillion people. I didn't realize who else was on this list. They have a team of all the people.
Look at Elsie being part of the daddy gang.
I know. I'm gonna have to get some of her gear. I am telling you. There's actually one sweatshirt that I want. It says blocked. That's what I want. That's the one that I want.
For you. That is perfect for you.
So I'll have that blocked sweatshirt. That's the only one I can actually wear and mean it. All the other ones are not me, but blocked, I can do. Anyway, she's been fantastic.
Wowzers.
This is insane. Y'all listen. I mean, millennial by herself doing her thing. Yeah, she has the Barstool support behind her. And yeah, she is getting paid. Obviously, she's getting paid to do this shit.
Yeah,
but she's delivering. She's delivering the content. And that's the point is that she's not getting to number 5. She's not getting to number 5 because of Barstool. What?
And she's not getting to number 5 because of men.
No, she's not getting to number 5 because of men. She barely has dudes on her show.
Right.
Wow.
Because I tried listening to it and it's just not my cup of tea. It's not my thing. I appreciate the way that she edits the show, and I appreciate like when she was in all of that drama and everything. I lapped it up with a spoon. But it is very women oriented, which is fantastic. It's fine. I mean, that's great. There's an audience for women, and just the fact that she's at number 5 and her audience is mostly women tells you how many women are actually listening.
Yeah.
To podcasts.
And it's women and millennial, because I have a feeling the same audience, the folks that are listening to Call Her Daddy are more likely than not listening to the Daily. I just don't see the same audience listening to the Daily as Call Her Daddy. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, let alone the Ben Shapiro show.
No one listens to Call Her Daddy and Ben Shapiro. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I mean, and she's above This American Life. I mean, honestly, good for her. Jesus. All right.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Where's Sophia with an F on that list? I do not know. Sophia is doing her own thing. She does have a podcast. That's her podcast, Sophia with an F.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She's independent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she's still doing the same stuff. Anyway, let's look across. That was my Call Her Daddy excitement, just because good for her. Yeah. Anyway, Sarah Silverman's tushy.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk? Yes. What do you think? Should we try it? Should we try it right now, Jess?
So Sarah Silverman over the weekend, in an effort to promote her podcast, showed a picture of herself looking over her shoulder, and she's not wearing any pants or underwear. And the three of us conferred and decided that it was a good idea. And if you want to really promote your podcast, a butt shot is a good way to go. What do you guys think? This is going to be.
I think that you should, if you're going to have a butt shot, you should have your RSS feed on the top of your butt, or you can have the little Apple Podcast logo, and then like a Spotify logo and a little Google Podcast logo right at the top of your butt, like right above the butt crack.
Yep.
And that's the way to go.
That would be your RSS stamp.
Yeah.
So
why
to be honest with you, I think it would work well for you ladies. For me, not so much. I don't think a picture of my butt, naked butt.
I think it would be a huge.
Oh, it'd be huge, but I don't know if it'd be successful.
Very successful. That's what I think.
Oh my gosh. Successful. But mind you, did it? I mean, you sent it because that's the way that she was promoting her podcast. But the point is, has the data come in? I saw your butt. I'm subscribed now. How would she be able to measure that?
I mean, she's not measuring it. It's just she knows that nudity sells. I don't know that it's a measurement.
So it's, well, I mean, does
You're
it?
So literal.
Well, here's the thing. So this is what happened. She puts a picture of her butt on Snapchat, and then the New York Post picks this up and writes a story about
around it. That's right. I think that, okay, so that's the key there. That's the key. You do the promotion, and it's not that the promotion gets listeners, it's that the promotion gets coverage, which in turn gets people to subscribe to the show.
Yeah.
So it's a little like underhanded.
Right. And then the New York Post puts it out on all their social networks, because that's where I saw it. I didn't see Sarah's, and I followed Sarah on Instagram. I didn't see your butt on Instagram.
Well, that's probably because did it get banned?
No, it's still there.
It's still her butt is still there. Yeah, I mean, I think it gets you coverage. It would just be
how much are you dedicated to getting new listeners?
That's dedication.
Are you naked butt dedicated?
Mm-hmm. Are you? Yeah. Yeah. I would be a little more I'd be a slightly more thoughtful about it. Like if I were to have advised her to follow her gut, I would have done that. I would have written, subscribe something on my butt. I literally would have. I said, like, listen, put this Apple Podcast logo on your butt. Although
Carrie thinks it would be successful. She knows what's up.
Oh, you know what? Here's the thing. I just thought of something. So what if we steal her picture, and then we take in Photoshop, listen to the podcast on her butt, and then put it in your
What? What if we Photoshopped listen to She Podcasts on her butt?
I can Photoshop it on any. I can Photoshop it on anyone's butt, but Sarah Silverman, you think she'd be mad?
That's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do people
I think we should put on there, come to She Podcast Live.
There you go.
That
you know what? What you're doing is you're renting a butt.
She might be.
Yeah, but I might have to pay her for that rented butt. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Sarah, no one wants to see my head on Sarah. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, that would be kind of disgusting and scary.
Thank you. Yes.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it, but that would just be really scary.
I agree with you.
You know?
Yes.
A big faces on a butt is
right.
Just all in all is a little scary. I don't know, but that was an interesting idea there. Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Her show is probably really interesting, Sarah. I doubt she has to do very much promotion. And she does have a cute butt for someone who's 50.
Yes, she does. 50. Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. It must be nice.
I haven't, I just listened to what's his name? Dax Shepard's show today because I was really intrigued by all the coverage that is following Prince Harry around. Poor guy. Mm-hmm. And he did an interview with Dax, and there was so much negative coverage about Harry that he said horrible things and all this stuff. And I was like, really? Okay, I want to listen to see what he said. And it was a wonderful interview. He was amazing, super charming, smart, thoughtful, all kinds of goodness, didn't really say anything bad that was horrible about the monarchy. It's exactly what they were talking about that is happening now with the coverage of him talking to Dax.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just horrific. That how dare he talk about the monarchy? How dare he does all of this? It's just like it wasn't even about that. It was about primarily mental health and the stuff that he's learned. And
it is mostly about mental health, I think.
Yeah.
That's why he says armchair expert, because he's mostly giving advice based on his experience, not because he's a psychologist or something.
No, right. But it was a really thoughtful, it was great. So anyway, I enjoyed the show. I would listen to it more. I enjoyed listening to him more than I enjoyed listening to Mark Maron, in all honesty. Because Mark is a unique, I think obviously, so is Dax. Both of them are very unique personalities. But I think that what I really enjoyed about the Dax interview is that they really stayed on the mental health thing and talking about the issues at hand, I guess. Yeah. And it just seemed like I could consume it easy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I really loved.
It's good. I think it's good.
It's a good show. Yeah. I'm just kind of now bummed that it's going exclusive to Spotify in July. So
yeah. Me too.
Meh.
Meh.
Oh, Tamara says that she doesn't care for Dax. This is the only time I've actually listened to the show, but I really enjoyed the show.
I've always liked Dax. I've always liked his personality. I like listening to him talk with Kristen. They've got some. They never gloss over their relationship, and it's been very rocky through the pandemic, and they've talked about it a lot, and I think that's good. And he what's the word? Relapsed, and they talked about it, which is good. And who wouldn't relapse? Honestly, you're stuck in the house. When you're Dax or Kristen, for that matter, and you're used to traveling and working, then all of a sudden, niente for a year and a half. It's probably very sobering, but not so.
But not so. No, it was really interesting. He did share, because Harry got into him about he really started to sort of become the therapist, Harry did. And Dax revealed all kinds of stuff where I was just like, what? Ooh. That's where you come? What? Ooh. So I did not know half the life that he has lived. So,
really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that he used to be on Punk'd? That's where he got started, I think. Punk'd with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. I think that's the only thing that I have really known him from.
The only thing I saw Dax in was that movie that Jessica recommended to me that's from the future, where everybody.
Oh my God, Idiocracy!
Idiocracy
he plays a numbnuts lawyer, and he's so funny in that.
Yeah, I've never seen. I don't think I've really seen any of his movies.
Honestly, write down Idiocracy. You need to see it because it's frighteningly accurate as to where our society is going.
Okay.
Basically, the premise is that this kid gets stuck in a time, he gets stuck in a military time experiment, and he wakes up 200 years from now, and because of the way that our culture is going, everyone is has the low Q of a dog. They're all idiots.
Oh my gosh.
He goes from being average to being the smartest human being on the planet. It's ridiculous.
Sheesh.
It's so funny. It's just funny how they do. I'm not telling you, but how they do the president and how they fix the crop situation and how they choose the cabinet in the White House. It's all hilarious and frightening.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, I see it, dude. All right.
Okay. And now moving on, because we're
Without
further ado, we have something else on the docket that you have added. It's your turn.
Spree, one of our biggest fans. She was featured on the Grit Daily. So I just wanted to point that out. name of the article is called "That's Right,
that's
She's
right.
the OG of Podcasting," and I would really like it. As much as I love this article about Esprit Devora, who's like one of my favorite people, and she's an amazing host. This is just an article about her starting her show and how she saw opportunity and like what advice she would give her younger self. On a side note, I would really like it if anyone listening here could stop referring to people as the king, the queen, the OG, the original, the first. I don't want to be called that. I don't want to
The
be
Podfather.
like, I don't want to. Yeah, like I don't like when other people are described as that because it makes me. I'm obstinate, and it makes me instantly want to argue.
Right.
Anytime you put someone on a pedestal, I'm immediately like, how can I tear that person down? Because that person isn't deserving of whatever it is. And she has been around a long time, but the article does say like in 2012, she was doing something in, she was working for an agency that managed YouTube influencers and, she figured out how to create a podcast and then launched Women in Tech, which is a great show. And she's gotten lots of rave reviews and she has been around a long time. 10 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But OG is a strong word. I love you, Esprit, but it's a strong word, dude. Cause like here I'm talking to Elsie, who's been doing it since 2004. So
well, I think it's just hard because it's all relative. It's all relative. I mean, I get
relative. That's why people shouldn't do it. Because it's
right.
not relative. It started at a certain date. It hasn't ended. If you were there at the beginning, the OG, I mean, there probably is an OG. We could probably look it up and find out who was the very first podcast besides Adam Curry. Like which woman was the very first one? I'd be curious to know that, but I still don't think they deserve a queen-like status or a king-like status. I mean, come
Grammar Girl. I can't think of her first. I can't think of her. I can never remember her name, but
Mignon
Fogarty.
Yeah, Mignon Fogarty. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree about some of that stuff. I think that part of it is just, it is hard. We have that name. And I think what ends up happening is that, at least for me, it loses its meaning.
Exactly.
Meaning when somebody keeps calling everybody that, then it's everybody, right?
But also, if someone says that to me, like I was interviewed recently where someone called me the queen of podcasting, and I was like, that is not even remotely true. Like
right.
Not only am I not the queen of podcasting, but I am dinged constantly for my terrible mic technique. And like, I don't know podcasting that well. I know marketing and advertising and sales. Like,
right.
Ask me to edit a show and you'll be very, very sad at the result. I mean, I can take out a few things, but I can't level. I don't know what those things mean. I have a tiny little mixer here and I only know what one of the buttons does.
But your talent, you're not really supposed to know all that. And even any queen of podcasting doesn't know the king of podcasting doesn't know everything.
Right. Not all the things.
Why is the king? Who should the king there? I don't
think there should be.
I don't
king.
want a monarchy in my
right. We don't want a monarchy. That's the point.
Yes. I don't want a king or a queen. I don't want to bow down to anyone and nobody better bow down to me. It's stupid.
Like to me,
that's a total tangent. Let's go back to the fact that Esprit Devora was highlighted in a cool ass article, and we will link it for you in the show notes.
Yeah, the grit. And I think we're gonna close out the show with just talking about emoji, because in the last couple of episodes we've talked about emojis, the obsession that both Jess and I have with emojis. And the disappointment of not the good emojis that we just got for iOS 14.5.
Emojis, come on, dude.
Which were kind of dummy, like kind of dorky.
Lame.
But there is this really, and I'm going to have a link in the episode notes so that y'all can read it. And it's a really in-depth study where it has, scientists, people, they did a systemic review of emoji, the current research and future perspectives. And they had all kinds of folks just literally go from the research on them, the development of emojis, the functions of emojis, but all of this to address how we are using emojis as communication and how that is working or not working, when it really works in certain scenarios and when it doesn't work in certain scenarios from a complete scientific lens. And it's quite, I mean, like using, like when emojis are used for motivation, what's the diversity of emoji use when it's like individual diversity versus cultural diversity and platform diversity and inefficiency when it doesn't really work out. I mean, honestly, y'all, you can spend all kinds of time dealing with this and emojis and why they're really kind of important in our lives nowadays. So
this is why I wish I was a scientist.
it is unbelievable.
I want to do these types of experiments and then
Right?
write about them and then get awards and be featured on shit like the development of emoji. So it's history of emoji and then diversity of use, cultural. It's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't even know where they have like all the different fields, like linguistics, psychology, and then it says future directions for research. And then, so the direction suggested is the relationship between emoji and real sentiments. And then the factors influencing user preferences in emoji use. I mean,
yeah,
isn't
boy,
that
they
like
really, yeah, they
so
have
good?
really stretched it out to be a full-on scientific experiment.
And I was going to start to sort of,
What?
I wanted to summarize the thing
to
for
this.
everybody. And then I
No, you
started to
can't.
read it and I stopped.
You can't, but I just want to go through
it gets
this paragraph. I'll read it and then
Okay.
we don't have it. We don't even have to say anything. Okay.
Okay. All right.
The use of emoji is also affected by individual psychological differences. This has been shown in research which demonstrates a positive correlation between the frequency of emoji use on Facebook users and their extroversion and self-monitoring traits, and a negative correlation between positive emoji use and users' emotional distress. An emoji-based personality test indicates, where'd they find that? Indicates that the similarity score between emoji and oneself was correlated with emotional stability, extroversion, and agreeableness out of the big 5 personality traits, but not correlated with conscientiousness and openness. Specifically, negative emojis are negatively correlated with emotional stability. Positive emoji are positively correlated with extroversion. In addition, emojis associated with blushing were positively correlated with agreeableness. I mean, how is that not the most obvious shit ever? Ever. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you figured out that when you use the sad emoji, it means that currently you're sad? What? What?
I just use the laughing emoji to tell people know that I'm joking and I'm not mad. Most of the time when I text, people think I'm mad. So I always just throw a little laughy face at the end.
Yeah, emojis are good for context. I agree.
They are very good. No, absolutely. But I mean, think about that though. I mean, the way that they've been used and the context in which they are used and the kind of sense that is communicated from one person to another person. And like, I'm just, I know that it seems like it's so obviously, it's so obvious, but in some degrees, it's not as obvious as you think. And I think that there's also a layer of being able to effectively communicate with emojis and knowing when it's the time and when it's not.
Okay, Yeager and Aris analyzed 33 facial emojis and found that most emoji can express one or more emotions.
Yes, they can.
The rich emotional meaning of emoji makes them a key area for researchers who analyze their emotions and develop emoji emotional lexicons. Because of their rich emotional meanings, emoji are often used to express emotions in online communication. What? Groundbreaking.
Well, the thing is, though, this can be something that you can I know that you think it's groundbreaking, but this can be used in, at work like this, stuff like
joking. It's not groundbreaking. What they're saying is, if it's a smiley face, you can convey an emotion with that. If it's a sad face, you can convey an emotion with that. Like, thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you, Dr. Obvious.
Well,
Really?
that's
Your
how we've been working.
research.
No, but this is what I'm saying. And so to be able to understand that the end user looks at that and takes it in and understands the context of something that's being written is what I'm saying. So that
interesting.
now if you're in a job opportunity or like you're in a, you know, in somewhere like government, can you imagine how it would be so much better if our world leaders would just communicate in emojis? It would be so much. But also, could you imagine if like Biden like shared one of those emojis that could be this or that? People would be thinking about this for years.
Yeah.
Why did he use that blushy face? Is it because of the you know, like why didn't he use just the smiley face? Why was he using the smiley face with the, you know, with the teeth versus a smiley face just with the line?
I got to tell you,
official term, blushy face.
After a certain, a certain level in business, in politics, no emojis.
No emojis? What?
No. I because it's just,
What?
again, I just think that it's clownish in a way. I understand why we do it.
Could you imagine like the Constitution written with like emojis? We should do that. We should write it and then like, add at the end and a period
Add
instead of a
gun
period.
emojis and sad face emojis.
Yes. And how it would be like this, it's be thinking when in a course of human events, and it's got, the guy with the glasses and looking up.
Or the monocle.
Yeah, so I'm saying that's the one. Yeah. One.
Let me inspect this sentence further.
Could you see, I don't know, Putin and Biden sending messages back and forth with emojis? It's like, you better not go into Ukraine. Angry face.
Angry face. I know. Could you imagine that? Or like
See, that's what I see Kim Jong-un and Trump doing.
Yes.
Little bomb emojis.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Eggplant and peach emojis. Like they're going to fuck each other up the
back and forth all the time. And they would just, and then laughing.
Yes. Idiots.
I could see that. happening.
Right.
This is not
you're onto
cool.
something. Hey, speaking of the Constitution, do you think that the people who started this country had British accents? Because they are never portrayed like that.
They would have to.
They would have to, right?
They would have to.
You know that George Washington was definitely speaking like a Brit.
Well, wasn't he? Actually, I have no idea. I'm not from this country, so I'm not going to follow through on that train of thought because I do not know. If
anybody wants to do anything about the Revolutionary War, don't forget the British accents, yeah? That was the worst. It's getting better.
All right. So are we finished?
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for bearing with us through this entire episode. We so appreciate it. If you want to find our show notes, they're at shepodcast.com. If you want to find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you can do that at She Podcast. You can also send us an email or a note, feedback at shepodcast.com. And what we'd really like to know is, are you using Snapchat? Let us know. Email is best, but send it anywhere. I'm curious. What else? Oh yeah. She Podcast Live. We do have a price increase at the end of the month. And now that there has been a mask mandate lifted, perhaps some of you are feeling like it's a little safer to come to an in-person event. We're still have protocols. We're still going to make sure everyone feels safe. Oh, there's Mom. Anyway, we're still going to make sure everyone feels safe. Hi, Mom. Hola, Mommy.
I'm really late. Hi, Mommy.
She wrote, I'm really late. Hi, Mommy.
And sad emoji.
And sad face.
Yes. She used a sad face. She's clearly distraught. Mommy, we were just talking about emojis and how they can express emotion.
Yes, we were just talking about that. So
groundbreaking stuff. Anyway. So maybe you want to think about getting that in-person ticket. They are limited. Speaking of COVID, we have limited the seats. So there are only 500. We're 20% sold out already. So go online, shepodcast.com/live. Get your in-person tickets. Mommy, maybe you could come to Arizona and see Elsie. Just saying. I would like to see you there. We're dancing now. I don't know why, and there's no music. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you all who watched us live. And we will see you next time. Thank you. We love you.
Neenette.
Bye.
Look, see, she loves what does 4 waving emojis mean?
She's waving. Hi. That's what it means. Hi. No music.
Yeah, well, we had the music at the beginning, Mom. You missed it.
Right? Do we do the end music? I think you can only hear that when you listen back.
I put it on at the end, but here you go. Just for Mom. Hang on.
There you go, Mom. Elsie, do you think she doesn't like if I call her mommy? Is that disrespectful?
But she's not
Mrs.
gonna.
Escobar?
She's gonna Latin.
Oh, she wants Latin music.
Oh.
I don't have.
Isaac's been really into Latin party music lately, specifically Mi Gente. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. He loves it.
Pitbull. Doesn't he like Pitbull?
He likes Pitbull too. Yeah. Yeah. Does she care is it disrespectful to call her mom or mommy?
No, it's not. Why would you think that?
I don't know. Cause maybe some people want to be one of my friends, I taught Isaac to call my friends by their first names, And one of them was no, call me Mr. He didn't like it. He was
look, she says she loves it when you call her mom.
Good. Okay, good. See, okay. Thank you. I just don't want to be disrespectful or improper. Although I have pretty much blew that in the last.
If she listens back to this episode, she's going to be in some way hiding. Maybe I don't know
why.
I don't know. Did we talk about something? Call her daddy. Oh, I was saying bad words. Remember?
Yeah, she got very heated in this one.
Yes.
She was yelling. I don't think she realized. Yeah, I don't think she realizes when she does get heated that my brain crinkles up like a little paper airplane. I don't know what to say or do because she's F-wording. And she doesn't usually do that. I mean, she does, just not for anyone else to hear. She actually does do that, just not when other people are listening. It's strange, but whatever. Any hooser.
Oh my God, there's a cat here.
Here's one.
Bunch of bullshit.
I have that.
Don't put it on there. Says my mom. Don't add it, John.
Sorry.
You're getting me in trouble.
Sorry.
You're not. Are you? I don't think you're going to be in trouble. What trouble could you get in?
What could happen she actually do? What would happen to me? She would just
probably be grounded. Has that ever worked?
Well, grounding is it's the same for me, right?
Did you ever sneak out of the house, or did you just? No,
I know. No. Where was I going to go?
Actually, I don't think I ever did either. There was no point. I knew I was going to. Every time I lied or did anything bad, I got caught for the first 2 years of high school. So by the time I was a junior, I just followed along because I had a car at that point, and I was like, I'm not going to give up my car, so I may as well just do what she says.
Yeah, no. Look, she's like, no. I know. I never snuck out of the house.
She probably never did.
No.
That means you did a good job.
I don't even know. How do people get that smart?
Emily used to use the
I would
roof.
have had to be so smart to do it.
Emily used to, this drove me crazy. She would sneak out of the bathroom window because that's where the roof of the porch was. She didn't even always leave. Sometimes she would just go out there and smoke cigarettes and then come back in. One time she was cold and left a towel out there, which I didn't find until 2018.
Oh my God.
Yeah. By the way, that's funny because she passed away in 2016. So you can imagine my surprise when I looked out the window and saw some kind of bath towel on my roof for 2 years, for who knows how long. She was away before that. Who even knows how long? I know. So,
Oh my God.
I mean, but we have an alarm now, so nobody can sneak out. Like when we want children to stay in the house, we make the doors sing and go crazy, so that nobody can. So that nobody can leave the house.
Who knew that you could do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Wow.
It's
I have a cat here who wants to be fed. He is so huge.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much again for listening and for watching us. And Mom, have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful
Yes, Mommy.
I'll see you next time. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.